coming to my channel for the first time, welcome or welcome back if you have been watching some of my videos. I create book content and Brooklyn content, aka New York content, because this is where I live, and I read great books and I just want to share them with you all. So last summer I did an official hot girl reading list, and I said, you know, that word isn't popular, but I think the spirit of being a hot girl will always be popular. And so I'm gonna do another one, because last year those hot girl reading lists were lukewarm. Okay, so last summer, the TikTok sound was like really super viral, where it was like, I'm reading from my head, my heart, my soul, and my, you know, that part of our anatomy. And I said, you know what, we're gonna keep it going. Like, this is what works, and we're just gonna do it again, because why not? So I do have 4 categories of books, and we'll just say my brain, my soul, my heart, and erotica, because that's pretty much what it is, right? It's erotica. Okay. And so I just wanted to share with you these a few books that I chose for each of these categories that I will be spreading out between my June, July, August, September reading list. I've already read some of them, and if you watch any of my monthly reading wrap-ups, you will see these books, but I just wanted to put them together like in a condensed space where we could just, you know, talk about them. Let's just dive right in. Okay, so for my brain, the first book that I would like to read is Black Cool, okay? 1,000 Streams of Blackness by Rebecca Walker. And let's give a little background on the book. Okay, so it was originally published in 2012, and it is a collection of illuminating essays exploring the ineffable and, you know, it's gonna be wordy, but that's okay, because sometimes we have to stretch our brains. Ineffable and protein aesthetics of Black Cool has been widely cited for its contribution to much of the contemporary discussion of the influence of Black Cool on culture, politics, and power around the world. This group of essays was curated by Rebecca Walker and drawing on her lifelong study of the African roots of Black Cool and its expression within the African diaspora, and the collection identifies ancestral and elements often excluded from colloquial understandings of Black Cool, cultivated reserve, code resistance, intentional audacity, transcendent intellectual and spiritual rigor, intentionally disruptive, I can't read on demand, clearly, eccentricity, and more. Listen, I am so intrigued by Black culture, Black Cool, and all things Black. And sometimes I gotta deviate from my nonfiction and really dig deep into African American culture. And this is gonna be one of my books, and I can't wait. Just the name of it, Black Cool, because you know Blacks is cool. No, I'm just kidding. We are the cool in America. Thank you. You're so welcome for what we've done. Okay, the next book for my brain is There Goes the Hood, Views of Gentrification from the Ground Up. Y'all, I live in Brooklyn. I walk outside and see gentrification. They just put a Target on my block. So I got really curious about what happens in these cities when they're gentrified, and where are the people who are priced out of these places, where are they going? And so There Goes the Hood analyzes the experience of gentrification for residents of 2 predominantly Black New York City neighborhoods. It thereby adds an important yet often overlooked perspective of debates on gentrification. The residents of formerly disinvested neighborhoods themselves. Their perspective suggests that gentrification is neither entirely threatening nor redemptive for urban neighborhoods. Rather, it can both offer a better life and threaten long-established communities. While residents appreciate the opportunities, they resent that it often takes full-scale gentrification to make their neighborhoods nice. Literally, I'm watching it in real time, people. I am watching it in real time. So again, I just wanted to understand the actual like actions of gentrification, how it starts, how it happens, what it looks like, and where do people go when they're priced out of their homes. All right, so next for my brain, and it is on my July reading list, is State of Emergency. How will we win in the country that we built? Because we built this shit, god damn it. Oh, sorry, sometimes my little Spike Lee jumps out. But Social justice leader Tamika Mallory states her case for action in this searing indictment of America's historical, deadly, and continuing assault on Black and brown lives, drawn from a lifetime of frontline culture-shifting advocacy, organizing, and fighting for equal justice. State of emergency makes Mallory's demand for change and shares the keys to effective activism, both for those new to and long committed to the defense of Black lives. I'm sure y'all can kind of see where this list is going. This list is all of my little hot girl reading list is all because hotties got to be smart. Hotties are actually smart. Thank you. Okay. And then the last one, I saw this book whenever I went to Barnes and Nobles while my mom was here, and I cannot stop thinking about this book because I just always remembered how important my school clothes were. Like, you only shop for them once or twice a year. You only wore them to school. Like, school clothes was such a thing. Like, I can remember being picked on for what I wore to school. I can remember not feeling like cool and like all the things. And my mom would be like, "You have clothes," and I'd be like, "But they're not the cool ones." And so one year, y'all, I'm really going into this like it's a therapy session. But one year I got my mom to buy me like a pair of Chuck Taylors, knee-high socks, a Dickie jumpsuit, and a Dickie dress that I had both spray painted. That I never wore. To this day, my mom's like, "You remember how you talked me into buying all this stuff and you didn't wear it?" It was only because I wanted to like be included, but I also didn't have the words to say like, this really isn't my aesthetic. It's just what I see, and I don't really understand how to make the clothes that I like cool, right? And so I wanted to read School Clothes, a collective memoir of Black student witness, okay? A course of Black student voices that renders a new story of U.S. education, one where racial barriers and violence are confronted by freedom, dreaming, and resistance. Black students were forced to live and learn on the Black side of the color line for centuries, through the time of slavery, emancipation, and the Jim Crow era, and for just as long, even through to today, Black students have been seen as a problem and a seemingly troubled population in the American imagination. Through over 100 firsthand accounts from the 19th and 20th centuries, Professor Jarvis Givens offers a powerful counter-narrative in School Clothes to challenge such dated and prejudiced storylines. He details the educational lives of writers such as Zora Neale Hurston, Ralph Ellison, a political leader like Mary McLeod Bethune, Malcolm X, and Angela Davis, and Black students whose names are largely unknown, but who left their marks on. Nonetheless, Givens blends the multitude of individual voices to a single narrative, a collective memoir to revere through a line shared across time and circumstance. A story of African American youth learning to battle the violent condemnation of Black life and imposed miseducation meant to quell their resistance. It elevates a legacy in which Black students are more than the sum of their suffering. By peeling back the layers of history, Given unveils in high relief a distinct student body, Black learners shaped not only by their shared vulnerability, but also their triumphs, fortitude, and collective strivings. I cannot wait. Oh, I think that's gonna be so good. Oh, whew, okay. It had nothing to do with what I said about my therapy session about the clothes, but I am still so excited nonetheless. Okay, and so those are all the books I will be reading from my brain. As for my soul, the first book that I will be reading is In Search of Our Mother's Gardens, Womanist Prose, in her first, by Alice Walker. In her first collection of nonfiction, Alice Walker speaks out as a Black woman, writer, mother, and feminist in a 36-piece ranging from the personal to the political. Among the contents are essays about other writers' accounts of living in the civil rights movement of the 1960s and the anti-killer movement of the 1980s, a memoir of scarring childhood injury and her daughter's healing words. So I also want to read this with my mom. We had our first reading, our buddy reading, when we read Tia Williams' The Perfect Find. And so I sent her this book. I was like, I think we should read this. I'm waiting for her response. Hopefully we can read it together, because we are doing a lot of unlearning and relearning together. As I get older, as she gets older, we bring thoughts to each other and we have such profound conversations. I would love to experience this with her. Okay, so another book that I am reading for Hot Girl, my Hot Girl reading list, is Weightless by Evette Dionne. We're going with Dionne. It's not Dionne. Dionne. Why am I such a dork? Y'all, I can't read, I swear. Everett Dionne. Oh my goodness. The book is called Weightless, Making Space for My Resilient Body and Soul. It's a poignant and ruthlessly honest journey through cultural expectations of size, race, and gender, and toward a brighter future, from National Black Award nominee Evette Dionne. My body has not betrayed me. It has continued rebounding against all odds. It is a body that others map their expectations on, but it has never let me down. So I did start this book. I'm like 15% into this book, and yo, the experiences of women, Black women in their bodies in this country. Wow. That's all I have for right now. But in this insightful, funny, and whip-smart book, acclaimed writer Evette explores the minefields fat Black women are forced to navigate in the course of everyday life, from her early expectations of harassment to adolescent self-discovery in internet chat rooms to diagnosis with heart failure at age 29. Dionne tracks her relationship with friendship, sex, motherhood, health, pop culture, and self-image. Yeah, y'all, the brain and the soul is real heavy for my hot girl reading list. Okay, the next book in the soul category that I will be reading is African Goddess Initiation, Sacred Rituals for Self-Love, Prosperity, and Joy, a sacred feminine initiation of self-love and soul care rituals, tools, and exercises. This was created by spiritual teacher, intuitive coach, and award-winning author Abola Abrams, who invites you to activate African goddess magic to transmute your fears and limiting beliefs so that you can morph more happiness, abundance, and self-acceptance. I'm just at that space in life. Like, I feel like I've learned to love myself. I've learned, you know, the law of abundance, but I still know that there's more to go. And this book has literally come to me 3 times. I saw it, it popped up on a feed. Someone else asked me had I read it, and I was like, okay. I feel like when things come to me in threes, I have to read it. It's time to read it. Like, there's no, you know, if you know, you know. Okay. The next book for my soul is Life Beyond the Likes, Logging Off Your Screen and Into Your Life by Issa Watson. With so much of our lives lived online, with so much of our lives lived online, we've never been more connected or disconnected from what's most important to us. It's time to log off of our curated online worlds and get beyond our needs for likes. For all that we think we're getting out of social media, we're also getting duped. The perfection echo chamber oftentimes makes us feel like we're getting left behind. Yeah. I don't know. If you follow my patterns of like posting and things, and I won't get too deep because I'm just going through the books that I'm going to read and leaving it at that, but I take huge breaks. I'm out here really living life, okay? I'm living life. I'm minding my business. Staying as hydrated as possible. And I'm just going to sit this right here because there's so much to try to pick this back up. But yeah, it's like, I really want, you know, to have a platform and to be able to talk to people about books and about life in New York and all these things. But I also know, like, without direction and like a purpose, are people really going to like connect to it? And sometimes I feel like I lose my authenticity just by trying to post. So that's why I don't be doing videos all the time. I do it when I can. I do it when it feels right. I do it when it feels authentic. And so this book also is kind of like the book before. It literally came to me multiple times, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. Thank you. All right, and so that concludes the soul category. So now we are moving on to our heart. I'm a huge Black romance lover, and this section is filled with beautiful Black romance books. And so that's what it's gonna be. Okay, so the first one is, let's see, what is the first one? Mickey Chambers Shakes It Up. She's shaking it up. She's making cocktails, and the cover is so stinky cute. I could not. Okay. It is a heartfelt opposites attract romance, one of my favorites. So total opposites, totally irresistible. Mickey Chambers is an expert at analyzing modern literature, but when it comes to figuring out her own story, she's feeling a little lost. At 33, She's an adjunct instructor with a mega summer class schedule and too many medical bills courtesy of her chronic illness. Picking up a bartending gig seems perfect. Sure, Mickey's never done this before, but the gorgeous grumpy bar owner Diego Acosta might be the perfect man to teach the teacher if he wasn't so stressed. Diego, I can't wait. Come on, Diego. Ooh, Diego, I can't wait. Okay. And that book is by such a dork. That book is by Cherish Reed. So Mickey Chambers Shakes It Up by Cherish Reed is the first book in my heart portion of my list. The next book is The Referral Program by Shamara Ray. Okay, let's see. From best-selling author of Recipe for Your Love and You Might Just Get Burned comes an engaging novel about a group of single women who come up with a plan to try and meet Mr. Right. Dylan and her best friends are in their mid-30s and have never been married. Back in college, they could not have imagined being single with no prospects for husbands at this stage of their lives. Lord have mercy. At a monthly gathering, the ladies discuss the possibility of being alone for the rest of their lives while their friends talk about their futures and fears that come along with it. They hatch a plan. They resolve to start a program where each woman has to refer a good man for a friend to date. As the friends embark upon the referral program, they discover things about themselves and each other they weren't aware existed. Relationships are put to the test as Dylan and her girls come to terms with their current realities and futures that may or may not include friends or husbands. Lord. Okay. I'm scared. Oh, let me see. Okay. All right, yeah. The Referral Program. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna read it. It's gonna be so awesome, hopefully. Okay, the next one is sorry. The Secret to a Southern Wedding by Cynthia Williams, an emotionally and witty story of love, forgiveness, and second chances as the race to the wedding day begins. It's been years since Dr. Imani Kemp has returned home to Peachtree Cove, Georgia, as Tallahassee's most sought after OBGYN. She doesn't have much time for anything else, but when her mom announces she's marrying a man she just met on a dating app, go mom, Imani knows she has to put a stop to it immediately. Let her mom be heard again after the disastrous way her last marriage ended. Mommy must be out here getting married. Absolutely not. Always her protector. Imani won't rest until her mom sees reason. She just never expected sparks to fly with the groom's son. Ooh. And the cover is stunning. This cover is pretty. My Lord, today this cover is so pretty. Okay. And the next one in the heart portion is Zora Books Her Happily Ever After by Taj McCoy. Zora has committed every inch of her life to establishing her thriving DC bookstore, making it into a pillar of the community, and she just hasn't had time for romance. But when a mystery author she's been crushing on for years agrees to have an event at her store, okay, she starts to rethink her priorities. Lawrence is every bit as charming as she imagined, even if his understanding of his own book seems just a little shallow. When he asks her out after his reading, she's almost elated enough to forget about the grumpy guy who sat next to her, making snide comments all evening. That's normally the guy I go for. Okay, apparently the grouch is Lawrence's best friend, Reed, but she can't imagine what kind of friendship this must be. They can't be more different. Ooh! Okay. Oh, that's gonna be good. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm excited about that. Okay. I like a look. Okay, so I'm actually not a fan of like a love triangle. I'm not. I don't really like a love triangle. I don't like that. I don't know. I just want one guy. I don't have the energy for more than one guy. Okay, I'm gonna see if I like it. It's gonna be my first time. And then the last one in my heart portion of my Hot Girl Summer Reading List is The Build Up by Tati Richardson. I follow Tati on TikTok, and I can't wait to get into this book. So, a truly unfortunate first day of work leads to unexpected love and this sparkling debut from Romance in Color podcast co-host Tati Richardson. Rumpled and ragged. Ooh, Lord. Ooh, I love words. Give me some words. Rumpled and ragged was not how architect Ari James envisioned kicking off her first day at a new firm, and few things can top the horror of her new and extremely hot colleague walking in on her at the worst moment ever. Learning that she'll be working with him on the project that's supposed to get her career back on top makes it harder than ever to focus on her big comeback. Ooh, with a partnership at his firm on the line, nothing is going to stand in the way of Porter Harrison absolutely killing it on his new, not his obnoxious rival. Okay, not his unpredictable brother, and definitely not his new coworker whose gorgeous curves he accidentally saw and now can't get out of his head. Oh, this is gonna be messy. Okay, the build's up by Tati Richardson. I'm really looking forward to this one too. And the cover is so cute. Okay, and lastly, I have some erotic stories that I will be reading. The first one is I've already read, A Turn in the Air by A.H. Cunningham. And I've also talked about it multiple times in other videos. But I did add it to this list. So if you have not heard me talk about A Turn in the Air by A.H. Cunningham, please click on my June wrap-up video because that's where it's at. Shout out to A.H. Cunningham. Okay. The next book that I will be reading is Priest by Bree Sade, honey. Okay, and right now it has 4.5 stars. So I think that means it's good. Because 359 ratings, 4.5. Yes, let's get into it. Priest Richards is a 28-year-old CEO. Book girlies, why are all the CEOs 28? Why are all of them like 27, 28? I don't know. But okay, I'm gonna read it. Okay, fine. Okay. His vision is clear. Is it at 28? Okay, sorry. His vision is clear, and he understands the value of taking a loss to gain what you truly want. On the cusp of his biggest loss, yet something beautiful happens, and he can't help but make it a driving force in his life. Satasi Andrews. Ooh, this stop. So I have to hear the audible reading of this because how do you say this? Miss Andrews loves her family to a fault. She is always there for everyone else, so much so that the one thing she wants to accomplish continues to be put on the back burner. Shy as she may seem, she understands what she wants. She just has to have the courage to take the lead. When two beautiful souls cross paths, only they can decide if one night can really change everything. I think this might be more of a romance, but maybe it's steamy. I don't know why this came up for erotica, but we gonna read it. Yep, Priest by Bree Sade. I really hope I learn how to say the main character's name before I have to review this book. Okay, next next is Sir Devereaux. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't add this to the thing. Oh my goodness. Hold please. Okay, so Sir Devereaux by Latoya Nicole. Yes, I was like, no. There was a book I was supposed to be reading. Okay, Sir Devereaux is anything but average, born into legacy and heir to the throne. He has it all. For most people, it is not easy being the most sought out person alive, but for Sir, power is all he knows. His unorthodox way of handling problems made him the most feared man existing, skyrocketing his business to the top. Control extends further than just his business affairs. His desire to maintain dominance requires Sir to seek a certain class of women, but all of that changes when one night leads him to Dionne Lee. Thrilled by the chase, Sir finds himself going through great lengths to secure her place in his life. There's only one thing standing in his way: her husband. Woo! Woo! How far is Sir willing to go in order to make Dionne his one and only? Or has he finally met his match and have to accept some things in life cannot be controlled and love is one? It's getting steamy. And again, 4.6 on Goodreads. Here we go. Come on, Latoya. I hope you bring it, girl. I can't wait to read it. Okay, so that's Sir Devereaux. Permission to Feel by Connie Easton is next. Let's see. Another highly rated. Let's see. Marion Drake is a man. Marion? We're going with Marion, not Marion. Marion Drake is a man that controls every aspect of his life. I really wish y'all could hear me reading these stories in my head and how I butcher the names. Just butcher them. Okay. Marion Drake is a man that controls every aspect of his life. The more he receives what he wants, the more he feels like the world is eating out of the palm of his hand. Wealth, stability, and freedom are the things he has that attracts women on a daily. However, his lack of interest in their curiosity for him didn't stop them from trying to bed him. Arana Dunn is a woman all about her business. Being a realtor, she crossed paths with all sorts of people, so their status never fazed her. She has also had her fair share of hurt in relationships, so they were no longer of any value to her. That was until she was offered something she couldn't refuse. Sometimes you have to follow the rules in order to see the love at the end of the tunnel. Is it BDSM? Is it a sub-dom relationship? Is that what we're reading about? I'm not mad at this. I hope he gives her permission to feel. Okay, and then the last one is Drowned in It, which I have already read, but I had already put it on my Hot Girl Summer reading list, and it is by Tay Lynn. And I have talked about this. I talked about it in my June wrap-up, but an arrival or occurrence of something in an overwhelming quantities or amounts. This word best describes what Willow Reed and Rakeem Wilkes find themselves caught in, both sexually and emotionally. A knock on the wrong door is what pushed them into the tsunami, but their chemistry and passion is what keeps them afloat. I'll talk about it in my June wrap-up video, so if you would like to hear me talk about Drowned in It by Tay Lynn, just go do that. It was great. It was great. Okay. So that concludes my Hot Girl Summer reading list. And listen, I think a hottie is well-rounded, okay? I think a hottie has to read, a hottie has to know, she has to be spiritual, she has to be sexual, she has to be able to love and, you know, manifest love, receive love, all the things. And so I think that this list covers the basics. It's giving social commentary, cultural commentary, okay? It's giving a little romance, it's giving a little passion. Because you got to be well-rounded. You really do. You really do. We all do. And I just feel like, you know, I really want to make sure that what I'm reading is well-rounded, and I'm constantly learning and growing and all the things. And hopefully this list inspires you as a hottie, or to be a hottie, or to tap into your hot girl energy, or whatever. Like, or hopefully it excites you to pick up a book. Because that's what I want everyone to do, is just pick up a book. All right. But if you have made it to this part of my video, please do not hesitate to drop a stack of books down at the bottom. And thank you so much for watching my video. Again, my name is Felicia, aka Brooklyn Book Belle, and I can't wait for you to come back for another video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. Follow me on all the socials. It's a Hot Girl Summer, and I love that for us. Okay, bye guys. See y'all next time.